Welcome, YouTube and Twitch, to the review of the Day 2 playthrough of Hades on the Epic Games Store.
Alright, so it's time for the Day 2 playthrough review. If you watch on YouTube at any time, click like, leave a comment, hit subscribe. If you watch on Twitch, leave a comment there. And hit follow there if you want. I stream Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays on Twitch. I do playthroughs and do reviews, as well as sometimes play multiplayer games. So if you want to join and join our community, feel free. Follow me on Twitter if you want to know when I'm going live, or Discord. Links will be in the description, you know, and let me know what you think. And whenever you watch live, the chat is there. You can join in on the review if you do want to join us. Alright, so it's time to get in on the review here. So it's day 2 of playing through Hades, and I got a little bit farther this time. I was very excited about that. The game still feels a ton of fun. I could definitely, if I didn't have other games to play, I would happily play this throughout the whole stream, and I could really see myself getting much farther in the game, and at a faster pace, you know? So as you're going along, like I mentioned in the other review, you're getting little upgrades for yourself and making yourself stronger in the mirror here. So like things like Shadow Presence, each rank gives you 10% damage. You get health for every room you enter, you know, and you have to use these gems that you get throughout the game. When you're kind of going through stuff. Sometimes you get 10 here, 50 here, you know, depends on which room you get, if you get a boss fight or whatnot, you know, so it does come in handy. Like, each rank gives you 10% damage when you dash and then quick attack. That's really handy, you know, getting extra damage, just dash and attack, dash, attack. It's something you do quite often. I tried today to do a little bit more of the melee kind of damage output, so now I have all the weapons available here, and I was trying the staff there. I think the ranged weapon that I'm using the bow here. It's kind of still where it's at. The range of this attack is pretty far. I mean, you could kind of hit him, you know, from pretty far, but since this attack, you know, is a melee, it's kind of hard to keep on choosing the direction without moving forward or in any direction. You know, you have to, like, time it perfectly without ending up, like, getting closer to the enemy. You know, and sometimes you don't want to be getting much closer. And then its other abilities that you shoot the bow, the staff, and then it comes back. So it's going to do, like, 20, 40 damage, you know. You'll get your crits. It does do a lot of damage. When you're versing enemies that do ranged attacks, you know, when you're just doing your basics, it does kind of stun them, and they stop attacking you. So it is nice when you can get them to line up and everything. The sword's still good, and it has that knockback, you know, so you can group up people. And then you just have that, like, group attack slam, which is pretty cool. The shield, I wasn't, like, I'm not the biggest fan of it. You know, you kind of just run in and bash someone, or you could just bash through them. You know, of course, you could throw it. Everything does have a somewhat of a range ability, but as here with the bow, I love the special attack, and often it gets upgraded to do knockbacks on abilities. It does knockbacks on enemies. It gets crit chances from the Artemis upgrades. It just gets a lot of really nice stuff. And it also has a skill shot to it, where once the line flashes white, then you're going to get some extra bonus damage to the enemy. So you can do anywhere from like 20 per hit, or I think up to 40. So that's a quick hit. 26, 38, 52. So, and that's because I'm doing behind the back damage. So if I hit from front, 27. Oh, really? 30, 30. 40. Okay, see, yeah, 40. So I get bonus damage from behind the back hits. So 52 damage isn't bad, you know, and it's not that hard to kind of do this one, because with this, if I want to, like, let's say I want to shoot it at him, but I'm faced that way, it'll just keep on hitting that way. Whereas with this, if I want to hit him, but I'm faced that way, all I have to do is flick in anywhere in that direction, and right now it's locked onto him. I have to like hit an opposite direction to kind of get it locked off. Like I'm moving it. See, I'm moving the joystick. You know, I have to go opposite direction to get it to get off of him. So it's gonna hit him no matter what. Whereas with this, pretty much whichever direction you're facing, it's gonna throw. So you have to like kind of, you know, and if you accidentally are going, you know, in anywhere else, it's gonna go in that anywhere else direction. You know, whereas this, it's like you're pretty much hitting the target. So it's a little bit of an easier, you know, thing to use if you're kind of just getting into the game. Might be more of a beginner weapon, but I find it does a lot of damage, and you can do pretty well with it if you're layering it with your dashes, usually in fights, you know, and you can, once you get, like, good at really timing that crit, you can kind of hit it, like, every time, you know, except for that time, you know, you can hit it off and do a thing. So, I myself, I prefer the range, but what I learned today in today's battle against Mogera, which is the first major boss kind of that you're going to fight, there is these two twin dudes that drop bombs, and they're kind of like a mini boss, and they're okay, but I don't consider them like Mogera. It's a very big fight in a very big room, and she's spawning tons and tons of monsters, and then she's doing all these abilities. She does like AoEs, but she also does different things depending on what you're kind of using. So, you know, sometimes she's going to be like doing this the double dash at you. Then other times she does this AoE that like goes in like this direction, that direction, goes in all directions but in a star. You can kind of dodge it and everything. So it's like, I like the range for that, because especially when it has knockbacks of abilities getting sent to you. Once she's doing that AoE, I could just flash attack with my special and just clear, you know, and just get out of there, you know. But she does attack you depending on how you're attacking her. The AI in this is really, really good. It tries to counteract what you're doing. She'll attack you differently depending on what you're doing most. You know, when I was doing like dash special attack, because it was just wide attack, so I was killing like tons of monsters while also hitting her, doing very minimal damage to her. But I did have like some crit chance on my special a few times and everything, you know, and it was taking a really long time. Then I started doing like my basic attack, and when I switched from that like motif of doing like dash special attack, like at that time she was doing a lot more of the AoE attack. When I was doing dash special attack, she was doing a ton of the AoE attack, you know. And then when I switched to doing more direct damage, she was doing more of her, she puts this area of damage, you know, down, which a lot of MMO players would say, don't stand in the stupid damage, you know, when it's like a circle pops up on the ground, but it's a group of 4 of them, you know, and you have to dodge them. So she was doing that a lot more to keep me mobile, you know, whereas with the special attack with a bow, you're very stationary. So it was really interesting to see how the fight changed, you know. And then getting into then the area after that, after you get out of Tartarus, which is like the first level, you know, and seeing how the fight's now changed. Instead of it being safe in just rooms where you can't go over the edge, now you're more into like an area that has like lava around the things you're standing on, and you can actually go on to it, you know. You're worrying a little bit less about traps being around on the ground, though, which is kind of nice. But you can just accidentally peel right into the lava and take some extra bonus damage. And so it's really cool to see how the different zones will have different things. And getting into that next zone, I'm finding that there are a ton more monsters with so many more abilities, and how much is changing, you know. And you also, it's a little bit nicer to choose which direction you go. Like in the next area, can't remember the name of it off the top of my head, you know, you get to ride these rafts to the next zone, and it's kind of like, they're kind of like sometimes like hidden, like you gotta, there's much more area to like traverse, like it's getting larger, you know, and it's a little bit more mazy in a way, even though it's all open, you know, you end up looking around a little more. But you also kept all of your perks and bonuses from the first zone, you know. So since the fights are changing, you want to get more bonuses so you can like now recalibrate yourself in a way, you know. But yeah, the fights are getting crazy past there. But with now you're feeling more and more epic because you have all of these bonuses that you've built up, you know. I kind of wish though I wouldn't have to do the Tartarus fight again, but I could understand they want like every single time you play through, you get all the different bonuses. You know, it's all random, so you don't know what bonuses you're going to be getting and everything. But at least you do have the chance to then come back and with your gems buy upgrades to make yourself even more powerful. You know, so that now when you're getting bonuses going back through again, now plus whatever bonus you got from the mirror on top of that is like you start feeling like you're just hammering through, you know. So it's like every single time you play through it, it's giving you something. It's giving you that kind of like cookie to like play some more. Like, oh, you like that? Here's another cookie. Like, let's play some more. You know, it gives you that drive to play through another time. You know, and then every time you also come out, it's different conversations with the NPCs. It's different things are happening. Little bonus spots of information that'll pop up. The little glowing dot things that pop up, and like it's a little side story. You know, it's so interesting how things change like that. You know, and the game, there's just so much of this side stuff. There's so much of these lore-esque conversations and everything. It's just a great game. This is just an all-around great game. I can't say it enough. Just genuinely enthralled and enjoying it. And it doesn't feel like a labor. It's just like fun fights, shoot a bunch of stuff, do a bunch of things, and with all the voiceovers bringing such a vibrancy to the game, it's a great game. It's such a worth it pickup, you know. And I say that because, you know, there's been a lot of games lately that do have this kind of indie look to it, but don't go that extra mile. You know, that don't add in all these voiceovers and all this side story. Or if they do that, you know, they're still relying on, you know, the age-old text things. So it's like you're kind of reading, like, you know, like a 500-page novel, you know. And it's like, you know, I want to play a video game. Keyword video, you know. I want to see a movie. I want to experience something that feels like it's an existential thing, like it's existing. You know, I don't want to. If I want to read a book, I'll read a book. You know, I didn't come here to read a book. You know, it's 2018. I don't. You know, it's, you know, sometimes it's kind of like very refreshing to see a game that's got great gameplay, really expanded and, you know, deep gameplay that varies and changes and keeps it feeling fresh, you know, that also has just a really rich kind of voiceover deal, you know, and it's really cool. I can't wait for this to be fully released and see all the things they're going to add to it, because I think a game like this can, in time, you know, maybe Hades 2 will rival that of Diablo. You know, like Diablo 1, from what I hear, was great, but from everyone that I've talked to that have played through them, Diablo 2 was where it was at. Like, Diablo 2 was, like, the most forward-thinking, like, unbelievable experience for Diablo players, you know? And this kind of having similarities with that kind of almost top-down view, but kind of to the side, you know, hordes of enemies and just kind of dungeon crawling, you know. It does have, from what I see visually, a shared kind of existence to that. So, I mean, if you play Diablo, let me know, you know, from the playthrough that you've seen, you know, do you feel that it does kind of have a similarity? But I just think with everything on day 2, I'm still enjoying it fully, and I'll definitely be playing it more. I definitely want to beat it, you know. So I'm looking forward to seeing what we could get done in the future. I might try and play it some offline, just like kind of go through, and when I get up to Mogera, like kind of suicide, but just keep on getting like gems and gems and gems. So like the next time I play it live, I might be able to just like power through it. But at the same time, I'm kind of like, I don't want to do that, and I don't mind kind of playing through it over and over again live, because, you know, so many times the stories and conversations with people are updating and changing and everything. There's so many different conversations to have. And then on top of that, from talking to the people, you know, learn more by accepting boons from Zeus, accepting boons from there. So Olympian gods, you'll unlock their further gifts by, you know, accepting stuff from them. Learn more by having conversations with Lord Hades, too. So in 2 more conversations, then I unlock the chance to unlock, you know, the rest of the hearts there to give him gifts. And when you give them gifts, they give you that bonus, like, so I have the bonus of whenever I go through, listen. Oh, there was another, see, there was another, like, I just passed it. Aww. And now it disappeared. There were, like, people standing here, and there's, like, a little shiny spot on them. And that means it was, like, a little bonus thing with some story there. You know? But yeah, when I go through, so you get these gifts from people in here.
Which to choose?
Right now I'm using the Happy Feather Duster that I got from talking to Deuce, a character. And I gave her a gift, you know? So every time I go through the dungeons, broken urns have a 2% chance to contain healing items, which isn't bad. I was also using, you have 25 more health than usual. I got that from Cerberus. My doggy from giving him a gift, you know? So it's like nice, some nice bonuses there, and there's a bunch of them. You can see there's many more I haven't unlocked, and I'm guessing there's even more past that, you know? So there's just so many little things that have been added to this game, and just so much to unlock over time, but not done in a way to force you to play it longer. I mean, if you just get really good at fighting this game, I'm pretty sure you could probably beat it pretty dang fast. You know, this is definitely one of those games where it's like, all these things to level up and all these bonus things are kind of just there for the skill gap. You know, whereas they're kind of giving it to you so that, you know, depending on how good you are at playing this type of game, everyone kind of progresses in it, you know? But at the same time, it does. I think even skill players will have a struggle. There's definitely a hardness to fighting in this game. It's definitely not handed to you. You definitely have a battle, and in that comes the fun of it. You know, and then the no downside to deaths is genius, you know? Just keep on playing through. Just enjoy yourself. Like, that's great. It'd be interesting, though, if they did come up with a, you know, a thing where, like, you have only maybe 10 lives or something. Can you get through the whole place with, like, 10 lives? And you get, like, bonus upgrades or something. Like, bonus, like, gem payouts or something. You know, like, I think that would be kind of interesting. But, you know, as it is now, I think it's really cool. Alright, that
is my review! Welcome and thank you. Thank you for watching, and welcome to the channel if you're new. If you're watching on YouTube, click like, leave a comment, hit subscribe. If you're watching on Twitch, leave a comment, hit follow. I shoot Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays on Twitch. I do playthroughs, and then I do reviews!
Thank you for watching, though. Definitely do all those things, and let me know what you think about the game. Join in on the conversation, and maybe I'll see you in the stream sometime. Gallagash. Bye-bye, bye-bye, bye-bye.